Hello and welcome to Horror Rewind. This is Kelly Florence.
And I'm Meg Goth.
And today we're talking about Pearl. Meg,
Yeah.
I made you go see this movie. But you wanted to.
I wanted to, but yes, we can pretend that you dragged me there if you want.
No, it's okay. I got to see it on opening night and I was like, I'm obsessed with this movie. You need to see it so we can talk about it on the podcast. And we just decided to go together.
It's exactly what I want. I told you, after Barbarian and this, I just feel like I won the lottery. And there's just so many great horror films out there, and they're getting legs. They're getting the ability to be seen and be in the theater, and people are getting money to make these movies, and it makes me so happy.
So, if you are not familiar, we are going to get into some spoilers, but Pearl is the prequel to Ty West's X, starring Mia Goth. She co-wrote this, executive produced it, and is a freaking star.
Yes.
We're going to get into spoilers now, friends. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's so good. But,
oh my gosh.
This is like everything in my brain. I love this time period. I love this era. I told you yesterday, Meg, that the first screenplay I wrote when I was in high school was about just these kids from a small town trying to get into a traveling vaudeville show. Because to me, that was like the height of fame.
Yeah.
And that's to her. That's her entire world.
Yeah. And I said, I love how it really is low stakes in a lot of ways. Like, she has other options. She can leave town and go to New York and try there. But in her mind, this is like the way in, and there's no other way in. And so I kind of like that it's these low stakes, yet it feels like high stakes. It feels like life or death, and it is life or death, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. We were saying it has a lot of homages to Wizard of Oz and also Psycho, and putting those together in this time era with this female protagonist, this awful mother, this alligator, that opening shot when she's like giving him the goose and then it says Pearl across the screen. It's glorious.
I love that they just leaned into that old school film look, and it's just like how X was like, this is a 1970s Texas Chainsaw Massacre grindhouse feel. This one very much is like with the music and the fonts and the shots and her acting. It's all very 1920s. It just feels so authentic, and it feels like they really do love the source material that they're taking it from. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It doesn't feel
it's not like they're making fun of it or anything.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not at all. And so I think we both are in this camp of like, I didn't know when I came into the movie that I was gonna love Pearl so much. Like, her as a character. I know she's problematic. I know she's killing people. I know she's killing animals. That's not okay. That being said, I think there are some really core things that you can empathize with her on. And clearly she has something wrong with her. But this idea that she wants something more out of her life, like, that is a universal feeling, you know?
Absolutely.
And imagine all the women who were in those situations, whether this war or World War II or whatever war, where you're left to sort of do everything. And her husband's away at war, and she's left with these awful people that are her parents. And she's not allowed to have any fun or do anything. And a lot of people have lived some pretty awful lives with not a lot of joy in them.
Exactly. And I think that just gets to the heart of this movie, is that we are rooting for her. But also it is a prequel, so we know, but we want her to succeed. We want her to be in pictures. We want her to go to Hollywood. Aww. And this projectionist, I know he's not a perfect person, but it's also a super cute meet cute that, like, he just sees her and says, "You're pretty enough to be up there," and he gives her a little frame of the movie. And I also love that, I mean, I know he showed her a porn, but he didn't even try to take advantage of her at that moment. Like, it was her choice when she came back, and she instigated it.
Right, yeah. I like that, too, and I think that he obviously represented to her, like, this whole other world that she wants, and she right away, as women do, realizes when he starts to get cold to her, and she loses her shit and kills him. And you know what? I wasn't mad about it.
No, it was such a great scene. Also, like, the pig with maggots on it outside of the house, and it just kept getting worse and worse throughout the movie, obviously. But that was such a great metaphor for, like, just her rotting life, basically, and her rotting parents eventually. And just this freaking jail cell that she's in, which is this farm.
Yeah, and it is. And this the aesthetic, it's like this dichotomy of, you know, the era and the aesthetic, and then obviously this amazing gruesome horror. I love that dichotomy because it doesn't feel like horror should exist in this world, yet it's so horrific. Just the day-to-day is horrific. She has to change her dad's diaper, you know? So it's like, it is horror.
Yeah.
But it's always been so, you know, made to look like magic time in the movies. But really the reality of life, especially for women or people who didn't have a lot of money, was pretty rough back then.
And I also love her in this bright red fancy dress running with an axe down a dirt road. Like, also, we don't normally, I know Lizzie Borden, but we don't normally see women of this era in sort of a violent role, or, you know, women who are dressed like this as killers. It's just, you know, it's just different.
Yeah, it is. I enjoyed it so much. I was so just absolutely drawn to everything that was happening. Her monologue,
oh my god,
near the end of the film, it's really the climax of the film.
One take,
absolutely stunning. I wonder how many takes it took to get it, but she just, I mean, she needs an Oscar. And the thing is, like, I know that's not going to happen because it's a horror movie, unfortunately, but, like, I wish these wonderful actors in horror weren't overlooked, and I hope she gets the...
Well, she'll get a Chainsaw Award.
Yes, and I hope she gets the credit she deserves because, oh my god, just absolutely amazing. What an acting, like, can I say tour de force?
Yeah, powerhouse, like all the things.
Yeah, just, I was blown away. I was blown away by every aspect of it. I liked how her parents were immigrants. And because again, you know, we talked about it before with other movies. It's like kind of this isolation. You know, they're German immigrants during World War I, which is very isolating. And just this concept that her mom is so mean to her. Her dad has no voice, and she feels that she has no voice. And just, it's fascinating how you can feel empathy for somebody.
Oh my god, I know. And I love that, like, her, the only actual person she can confide in is her dad, but he can't respond. And then, so she's confiding in her animals. And I love how the cow is very judgy. And she hates the goose so much she murders it in the opening scene. I mean, I don't even know what she has against that. And then, of course, she has this tryst with a scarecrow. Oh, yeah. That was wonderful.
Yes. I mean, she needed a break before she went home to that mom. I don't blame her 1 second.
But, like, she's dancing, and then she's like, I'm married. And then, you know, she takes advantage of the scarecrow. It's so...
And the scarecrow is very upsetting looking.
Yeah, it is. It's so horrific and brilliant. I freaking love this movie.
I do too, and it makes me so excited for the third film, the third installment. I also want to go back and watch X again because I feel like it's just gonna have so much more color to it, and I'm gonna like understand so much more. So I'm looking forward to watching that again.
And I haven't even said this on the podcast yet, but when I saw X in the theater, there were two small children under the age of 10 sitting directly in front of me, and I could not concentrate on anything but them reacting to the movie and like looking at their parents. And so, like, obviously, Meg, you know that movie is not meant for kids.
No, it's not even close. So I know that kind of affected your experience. So hopefully maybe you can watch it again.
Yeah, in the privacy of
your own home. I actually had an empty theater when I saw it, so I got to just, you know, sit there and experience it and not have to worry about what any kids or anything. So I had a whole different experience. So hopefully, yeah, you can re-experience it, and especially now that you have all this information about Pearl, and
yes,
now
I
you
love
kind of
her.
know, it's crazy because I don't know, it's such a well done movie, and It's like the kind of horror movie I wish I had made.
Oh my God, I know. I love it. I love everything about it. Let's rank it, and then we're going to talk about a couple other things we
Okay.
watched this week. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being you hated it, 10 being it's a perfect movie, we have to use her axe, right?
Yeah, of course.
Pearl's axe. How many axes do you give
10.
Pearl? I know, me too. 10.
I mean, come on.
If we had something
Yeah.
higher than 10, it would go.
I know. I don't think anybody's surprised.
Oh, I love this movie. Injected into my veins.
I know. The dancing, and I know you're a dance girl.
Yes.
Like, just all the dancing.
It's just so amazing, and also like her horrific burned mother and father's corpses sitting at the dinner table with a
I
rotting
love it.
maggot-filled
See the
pig.
dichotomy of like Palace Follies
Yeah.
and that. It's so
Oh,
good.
I love it.
And just seeing like her being affected by what she was watching in the movies, because we
Yes,
understand that, you know,
yes.
and just being like, oh, I want to be involved with that. I want to do that. I get it, Pearl.
Pearl, we get you, girl.
Yeah. And now that I have a bearded dragon named Pearl,
Yeah, it's
we
she
have
needs
to have a Pearl outfit.
Yeah,
made
she
for
needs,
her. So
the red, and then she needs like the little pigtail,
okay,
like
I'll
lacy things. See what your mom can
I'm
do.
gonna see if my mom can make a little Pearl,
And then a little
outfit.
axe.
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Or pitchfork.
Yeah,
Axe or
either.
pitchfork. Yeah.
So you recommended this movie to me. Well, I don't even know if you recommended it, but you mentioned that you watched it and needed someone to talk to about it. I watched We're All Going to the World's Fair, and I think I need someone to talk to about it. Maybe a therapist.
I know. It's very upsetting, isn't it?
It is. And I was saying one of the most horrific scenes, and I love body horror and gore, but the guy was like scratching at his moldy infested arm, and then he was pulling out the Admit One tickets, and I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm actually watching this right now or if this is a fever dream.
Yeah. No, it's very... I thought the actress was really good and
Yeah.
compelling, and I wanted to see what was going on. And I liked how, like, her dad... We never see her dad. He's just kind of like this angry voice coming up the stairs. And, you know, there's all these different things. I was very upset when she murdered her stuffed animal.
Aw.
That was very upsetting to me.
I like the premise. I like the idea that we are probably willing to play games or do whatever on the internet if we're lonely, especially.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's this trap you can fall into, whether it's literal or figurative. And sometimes, like, we get caught up in 3 hours of TikTok when we could have been touching grass.
Yeah. I mean, talk about empathetic. Like, we all have spent too much time on the internet and got sucked into things and are like in somebody's Facebook drama that we don't even know and things like that. So I think, you know, this young girl, it makes total sense, who's lonely and doesn't have a lot going on, and she's, you know, not well adjusted. And then, you know, you had to have this weird relationship between her and that guy who's like, is he trying to help her? I guess, but it seems nefarious too. And it's just it's a very odd movie, and I felt like I needed a shower after it or something.
No,
like, it just feels very icky, and then at the end you kind of feel like he's lying, that he didn't see her and that she like killed herself or something. I don't know.
God.
It just felt very
I
dark
know.
and bleak.
Even when it was over, I'm like, I don't know what I just watched.
I know. It was a lot. It was a lot.
So along those lines, and I know you haven't watched this yet, so I'm not going to give any spoilers. Somebody on TikTok said, I am the biggest horror movie fan and nothing scares me anymore, but I watched this movie and I was scared out of my mind. So I'm like, okay, I need to watch it immediately because, you know, not a lot scares me these days. And of course I started it at 11 p.m. All of my lights are off and the rest of my family's sleeping. I had to stop it maybe about halfway through and finish it in the morning. I tried to finish it in the morning.
Called?
He's watching.
I
tried to finish it in the morning. It still wasn't light enough. I had to finish it in the middle of the day.
Oh
and
my gosh.
It's so creepy because I'm not going to even give away the premise, but it was like, and the imagery, and it's a little bit mindfuckery. Like, it reminded me a bit of We're All Going to the World's Fair, but in a totally different way.
Okay.
And I'm not going to tell you anything until we talk about it on the podcast.
Okay. I consider that an assignment. I need to go watch it. Oh my gosh. I'm excited.
Now, oh wait, you talked about this on the podcast last week. Never mind.
Okay.
You were watching Cat People. Did you finish it? Or Sleepwalkers,
Oh no,
I
it's
mean.
Sleepwalkers. I half watched it with the mute on, so I need to like go back and actually watch the whole thing. I had it on like while we were doing stuff, so I didn't get the full effect. But now I'm intrigued because all the cats were really Give me some cute cats, and I want to watch the horror movie.
Yes.
So. And give me stuffies, clearly, because like I said, I was very upset about that stuffy. I feel like I'm like one bad day away from just really going into the Squishmallow thing.
Oh.
I feel like if I just have one bad day,
yeah,
I feel like I might like have 50 Squishmallows. They're very cute, and I like stuffies.
I know.
So.
We have so many in our house, just like stuffed animals in general.
I don't need any.
Yeah, but I keep buying them.
I know, I just love them, especially horror
it.
ones and cute little like you have to have. Like I'm looking at your Johnny from Cobra Kai
and Bride of Frankenstein.
So I mean, give me all the stuffies. That's what I say.
Hey friends, guess what tonight is? It's the autumn equinox, and guess where we're going to be? At the Nordic Center, teaching you about Nordic witches and signing copies of our latest book, The Science of Witchcraft. And guess what the best part is? We are donating to charity. Meg, tell them all about it.
Yeah, we are giving away copies of our first 4 books to people who bring in donations for Safe Haven. And that list of what you can bring is on our Facebook event. It's on our calendar, on our website, so you can find out what you can bring. But we're very excited to be partnering with Safe Haven. It's really cool.
Yes, and guess what? There's free tarot readings.
Yeah.
And you can come hang out with us. So, like, what are you even doing? Oh, you can stop by anytime between 6 and 7:30 in Duluth, Minnesota. So, swing on over.
Why wouldn't you come and get a free tarot reading like that? Like, usually you have to pay money for that.
Yes. And also, a week from tomorrow, you can come hear a reading by SAG-AFTRA actors of our script Hellcats. It's about witches. Obvi.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that script that we wrote. So I'm very excited to see people perform it. It's going to be crazy.
Oh.
It's going to be so cool to watch. I'm really excited. That's at Fickers, right?
And yes, and also this is for you OG rewinders. It's going to be a reunion of sorts because Lisa Bowl, our resident mixologist, is going to be there. Hello.
Yes, and she's going to be one of the actors.
Yes, because she is SAG-AFTRA.
Yeah, doing our script. So that's really exciting.
So if you remember, if you listened to the old episodes and she was giving those amazing cocktail recipes, well, she's going to be in person. Maybe she'll recommend a drink for you.
Yeah.
Buy her a drink. I don't know. Buy me a drink.
Yeah,
we'll buy you a drink.
No, I think if they come, they can buy us drinks.
Okay.
That sounds good.
That's the deal.
Yeah. I think so.
Okay, friends, we are so busy. It's our busy season, but happy equinox. Be your witchy selves. Until next time, we'll see you in the horror section.
Bye.